Hello and welcome to COVID-19 Safety Marshal Training. This course will take you through the following objectives: a COVID-19 overview, cough and sneeze etiquette, social distancing rules, illness reporting, exposure protocols, correct use of PPE, cleaning and disinfecting and the difference between these, and a COVID Safety Marshal's responsibilities. Module 1 will take you through a COVID-19 overview and will take you through details of what your safety plan should contain and the aim of the procedures. Currently, we are in a challenging and changing landscape. As a COVID Marshal, you should be committed to the safety of your venue's workers and patrons during this COVID-19 pandemic. As such, you will be responsible in ensuring that additional, specific safety provisions are included in the daily operation of the workplace to ensure the risk of spread of COVID-19 is minimised as far as practicable. What this means for you: cleaning, and more cleaning. Hand washing and ensuring that staff undertake the same. Ensuring hand sanitizer is available at all times. And the follow and discharge of all social distancing rules. Mandatory training. All staff in hospitality must complete mandatory COVID-19 training on top of this training by an approved course. None of these are particularly great, but they are necessary. You can do this training free using the links below. Don't forget to download your certificate. That way you can keep a copy on file. The mandatory training will take you through such interesting topics like hand washing, using sanitizer, and COVID-19 symptoms, etc. I hope you have fun. Mandatory training must be undertaken within 2 weeks of opening by all staff in Queensland. In Western Australia, you must do this training before you start work. Staff should not be placed on a roster until the training is complete. At the start of this, we will have to do things a little bit differently than we did before. There are some new processes in place that we will need your help enacting. As a COVID Marshal in New South Wales, a COVID-19 Safe Hygiene Marshal, it will be your responsibility to ensure these protocols are followed. Management will provide you support and should provide you with the authority to discharge your duties. Suppliers and deliveries. Where appropriate, all deliveries shall be undertaken using contactless delivery methods. The driver should call once the delivery is unloaded on the back dock or delivery area. A staff member should attend the back dock or delivery area and check the order. A photo or digital copy of the invoice should be provided to the venue. If delivery agents are to come on site, then the same rules apply as per contractors. To help with this, the following should be provided: a placement of a sign on the back dock or delivery area detailing any number to be called or instruction to access the site. The back dock or rear access door should remain locked so access cannot be obtained. Contractors. All contractors that come on site should provide your venue with how they plan on protecting themselves and your staff whilst on site. These plans should be reviewed by management. Contractors must arrange a time to be on site prior to attendance, so they must call your venue before coming on site. Contractors should also sign a COVID-19 declaration before entry. This should be available at reception or the front counter of your venue. All contractors must sign in using the protocols used by your venue. This is part of contact tracing. If a contractor has not called beforehand, get management, as having them on site may increase your numbers to greater than what you are allowed. Health and well-being. There should be sanitizer stations set up in various locations around your venue. All staff should be made to sign a COVID-19 declaration form upon commencement of their shift, and these must be maintained on file for 28 days in New South Wales or 56 days in Queensland. Currently, there is no requirement for these in South Australia, the Northern Territory or Western Australia, but this may change. Signage is recommended for these states. Temperature monitoring can also be used. If a temperature of 37.5 degrees or higher is recorded, this is a fever, and that person should not be allowed on site. No persons showing signs of cold or flu must be allowed on site unless medical clearance is provided. For staff, a medical clearance certificate to be issued by a doctor defining that the staff member is not infected with COVID-19 must be issued. This assists us in assuring that potentially unwell people are kept out of the venue. Queensland Service. Service will be a little bit different to begin with. In some places, table service is preferred to minimise the flow of patrons. In Queensland, we can have people ordering from a bar or counter. People can also drink at the bar if seated and if social distancing is observed. All persons must be seated if eating or drinking. They cannot be standing. In addition, patrons must not congregate in groups. A minimum distance of 1.5 metres must be observed at all times. Whilst ordering shall continue to be undertaken at the counter and bar areas, social distancing must be adhered to. If table service is the chosen method of control, wait staff will have a lot to do. Between table service, drink delivery and order taking as well as cleaning tasks, you can be sure they will be busy for their entire shift. New South Wales Service. COVID-19 Safe Hygiene Marshal. Pubs, clubs, restaurants and cafes must appoint a dedicated COVID Safe Hygiene Marshal to oversee social distancing, cleaning and hygiene at the venue. The Safe Hygiene Marshal must be dressed in distinctive clothing. Large venues with a capacity of more than 250 people must have a COVID Safe Hygiene Marshal on duty whenever the venue is open. Smaller venues with a capacity of less than 250 people must have a COVID Safe Hygiene Marshal during peak periods and at least during lunch from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. and dinner from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. South Australia and Western Australia Service. Service is going to be different to begin with. We can serve people at bars and counters provided social distancing is maintained. In SA and WA, people can also drink at the bar at this stage. There is no longer any requirement for people to be seated when eating or drinking in these states. In addition, patrons must not congregate in groups. A minimum distance of 1.5 metres must be maintained at all times. The rule of 1 person per 2 metres squared must be observed at all times. Care to be taken when interacting with customers. Remember, there is a COVID safe plan in place, and all areas of this must be followed. In SA, if we have room for more than 1,000 people, we must submit a special COVID safe plan to SA Health for approval. Remember, the Marshal must be readily identifiable as such. You are in charge of ensuring that all COVID safe measures are followed at the venue. And you will also ensure that any handwritten or digital records are accurate and are legible. Further considerations. There must also be additional signage placed around the venue. This will include hand wash signage in the toilets, hand sanitizer signage at sanitisation station points, max occupancy signage at the front of the venue, social distancing signage to be placed in strategic locations around the venue, and illness signage to be placed at the front entrance and at reception points. The illness signage should state that we have the right to refuse entry if a patron or a staff member is ill. This is for those venues that have courtesy buses. Bookings only. The bus will be utilised by bookings only, and no more than 6 people should be on the bus. This includes the driver. For multi-person pickup, multiple people of the same family or household may be picked up at the same time. Otherwise, it's single pickup only. The driver should wear gloves, glasses and a dust mask during all transport. This protects the driver from potential transmission. The driver should also have hand sanitizer for personal use. You should also clean and disinfect the bus after each pickup and drop-off using disinfectant wipes for high-touch surfaces and Glen 20 or a similar disinfectant aerosol for seating.